Hi everyone, Tim here. As you can see, I'm in my four-wheel camper. I've got it popped up. I just did an exterior wash actually, so it's looking great. Kind of cleaned out the interior, but we're still working on that. But in this video, what I'm going to be talking about is what's next for this camper. I'm going to be talking about how I really have wrapped up 1.0 of this camper, which is getting it operational, and now it's time to refine and get this thing working perfectly. I'm talking about redoing some of the interior to make it a little more custom for what I need today, talking about a couple of small repairs, and finishing up some creature comforts like better electrical, better water systems. So stick around so I can give you a recap of what I'm going to be working on in the camper coming forward, and thus what new videos will be coming out on this channel in the near future. The biggest thing that people are interested in this camper is probably the canvas. I completely did that canvas sewing project myself. If you're interested, I'll link it above or below. I've got a 3-part video series all about sewing this. It was a big endeavor. And overall, the canvas has been holding up quite nicely. It's still working great. It looks pretty good. Some wrinkles starting to come together here and there, but mostly it's great. There is one small exception, and that is on the north and south sides of the camper. Where the canvas closes down, I am starting to get some holes. I think what's happening is that the camper is actually squishing the canvas just so. I think my mounting hardware might actually be causing the problem more. And so you might even be able to see in the video, but I have a little bit of light coming through right there. I have some down there. Same over here. I've got a little bit of light coming in through there and down there. Now, water's not coming through yet. It's just some light, but you can tell a hole is really developing, and that's kind of a bummer considering this canvas is only 3 or 4 years old. So it's been doing great. I don't think I did anything wrong, except maybe the roof alignment when it comes down is not perfect, but something I'll be doing in the near future is patching those up. So I'm just gonna put some exterior canvas patches on the back side. I should be good to go. No big deal, but something that needs to be done. One other project that really needs to be redone is the under galley area. I essentially never finished this whatsoever. This is just a big void that is my main storage area, but currently completely unutilized. We throw some bags up here sometimes, maybe the cooler, but all in all, we end up doing the bag shuffle and are just constantly moving bags around on the couch and things like that. So this needs to turn into something way more functional. What we're thinking of doing for that is simple drawers, probably 3 on each side, 6 total. What I'd really like is for those to easily come out, go into the house, get filled, and come back out and be ready to go. We haven't quite figured out what that's going to look like. We want something that's simple. The idea of using drawer slides doesn't appeal to me all that much, but we will figure it out. We could just do some shelves, of course, shelves and buckets, shelves and bins, but something needs to be done. Our storage system is rough these days, especially now that we have a son. There's a ton to bring, and we need to get better at storing it. I will share with you one small improvement that I did make recently, and that was to make this top pantry shelf more usable. So here's this, and I made this cute little utensil drawer, maybe we'll call it. So I've got my soap, my sporks, my coffee making stuff, a sponge, and this stores perfectly in there. So that's been a great feature that I really like. One thing I do need to improve more is still making this pantry a little more organized. Oh, see? I'm gonna make some small bins or something like that to start to make this a bit better. Plus, I might turn this into different type of storage and put all my food underneath the galley. Gotta figure that out, but that's something that needs improvement to make this camper a little more usable. The other thing I need to do soon is redo the water system. The water tank that I put in is unfortunately leaking. Luckily, it's huge. It's like 20 gallons or something like that. So traditionally, I only go out for a night or two. And so by the time it drips, leaks, I'm back home and it's no big deal. But still, it's not ideal. I will say the leak is also not interior. It's the exterior drain that just has a slow drip to it. So I'm gonna take the tank out. Luckily, it's pretty easy to access. And I'm either going to repatch it with some water weld, or I might completely remove it and put something new in there. I'm thinking some traditional jerry jug water cans would be a little easier to handle. So redoing the water system is something I would do sometime. It's not that critical. I'm gonna do the canvas first. Now, while I do have the lights working in this, I want to redo my electrical even more. Right now, the lights are actually just hooked up to the battery. No fuse box, no nothing. I totally never really finished that project. What the electrical still needs is that I have the roof wired for solar. I actually have a small trickle solar panel. I need to get that mounted, get that hooked up. I already have a solar controller as well. I need to mount that down here. And then also put in some USB ports. That's the biggest thing that my wife and I really want. is some charging systems. So over in the galley area, I'm gonna put a nice little monitor and a couple of USB ports and also a fuse box underneath the seat here. So electrical, a simple upgrade, nothing too magnificent. I do have a small inverter. I probably won't hardwire that. I'll probably just clip that to the battery every blue moon that I want to charge a laptop or something like that. So electrical system beyond just the lights is something that will be coming soon as well. Another thing that needs a serious fix is whatever's going on here. This is my stove. I use the stove pretty regularly. It's really nice to have. I'm very much glad it's here. I painted it black with some sort of high temperature paint as well, but that paint stinks and it's come off on my canvas everywhere. It's really come off everywhere. I'm very disappointed in it. One caveat is I think I was supposed to like bake it or something because it was like high temperature. I definitely didn't do that. I do still have the rattle can though, so I might redo this. I might just repaint it and clean all this up, or I might just clean this up and strip the paint off this and let it look a little vintage, we'll say. But that's been a bit of a bummer and something that definitely needs to be redone soon, just for aesthetics. There's no reason to have this black crap all over my canvas. The other thing I'm going to be doing is another sewing project. When I installed this canvas originally, I put in what I call Arctic liner attachments. So all along the roof, here, let me see, can you see here? Yeah, this is perfect. All along the roof, I have a 2-inch Velcro strip running the entire length of this. This is for attaching another layer of material to keep the canvas better insulated in the winter. Four-wheel camper often calls that an Arctic liner. People make them themselves all the time. I, of course, will make my own. And so someday I want to sew that up. It should be a pretty simple project compared to what I'm used to. There will be windows, but those windows don't need to be watertight or anything. They're gonna be simple Velcro windows. And so someday I'm gonna do the Arctic liner, and hopefully I'll do that in the near future. Speaking of creature comforts, another thing that I really need to redo is the old bed mattress. Right now I'm just using a cheap 2-inch foam mattress that came with this camper a long time ago. I need to do something way better. So I'll be planning on redoing the mattress soon. And what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna take some of the cushions out of this camper. Right now I've got cushions all on the couch all the way around, as well as up here. And that's just way more cushions than I need. What I mean by that is that if I'm sitting down here, that means the mattress is pushed away and not being used right now. So I have a bunch of foam up here that's literally doing nothing but needs to be stored. What I'm gonna do is redo the couch to remove these cushions and make those multi-purpose cushions that are either acting as a couch cushion when they're down here or sleeping on up here. Because once this is pulled out, those are no longer needed. So I can just take those and put them up here to sleep on instead. So that's something I'll be doing in the near future. This is actually pretty high demand for me because I want to be a little more comfortable when I sleep. I'm plenty comfortable now, but let's go ahead and make it real nice. A couple other things I plan to do soon. Add hooks for garbage bags. Right now the garbage just ends up living in a plastic bag that floats around the camper. We need a stationary hook that it always goes to so we always know where the garbage is and it's not floating around. Other things include, oh, the heater. The catalytic heater is actually working totally fine. We like it, but we still get nervous about using it. It's safe. It really is safe. We got the CO detector. We got the smoke detector. That thing's got a million different shutoffs. It is safe. I totally believe that, but it's just not the greatest heat ever. I really want to go for one of those diesel heaters. Beyond just safety, the reason I want one of those diesel heaters is because the diesel burning process is an inherently drier process than the propane catalytic burn process. That would help me reduce the amount of moisture in my camper, and that would be great for winter camping. So I will probably be upgrading to a diesel heater sometime in the near future. Kind of silly to now have 3 different fuels on my rig, which would be gas for the truck, propane for the stove, and diesel for the heat, but whatever, there's worse things that can happen. I plan on mounting that outside of the camper, in between the camper and the bed, so be on the lookout for that. Patch the canvas, diesel heaters. Oh, speaking of furnaces too, down underneath behind the heater, there's actually a big crack. The floor pack is actually starting to come undone, so that's not ideal. That needs to be patched. Probably just a duct tape patch, maybe a bit more, but one more thing on the to-do list to help fix up this camper. Every time we park the camper, we are always trying to find a level spot, and often we just say, screw it, it's no big deal. That means we sleep on an unlevel surface a lot of the time. We need to stop doing that. And so I need to make some simple leveling blocks and throw them in the bed of the camper and bring them with us. So got to do that, another small project. 2 other things. One, we want to make some sort of mesh system that goes from here down to here for when my son is up in the bed area crawling around, he can't fall off. So that'd be really cool if we ever made that. And then the other thing that needs to be finished is I need to show you guys the third installment of installing this camper onto the Tundra, which is the drawer system. I call it the basement. It's directly underneath my feet right now. That's where I store my skis. It's working really well, but unfortunately those drawers are a little too snug in there. They're really difficult to pull out. So I need to just kind of sand a little bit off of that and make those a little better situated. That's why I haven't come out with the third installment yet, because I actually still want to kind of finish that build, if you would. So be on the lookout for that. And that wraps up what I plan to do on this camper in the next few months. You can be assured that for every project, I will be carrying you guys along with me, shooting video, documenting the whole thing, and showing you all the mistakes I make and things I need to learn. If you have questions for how other pieces of the camper are holding up, drop a comment down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. In general, I've been very happy with the camper. My wife and I don't get out in it a ton now that we have a family, but we still get out in it quite a bit. And now that our son's actually getting older and getting a little more used to going out and things like that, we'll be sure to be in it more and more every month. We're gonna be trying to go at least once a month during the winter, go get our skiing in, and then also in the summer, of course, using it plenty. Hopefully a long road trip this summer, fingers crossed. That's all I really have for you in this video. I know it's a bit of a different video, me just talking about things I'll be doing soon, but just wanted to give you an update of some of the projects that are in the pipeline for the camper and also for the YouTube videos. So if you have questions, drop them below. As always, thanks for watching. If you're not already, consider subscribing. We've got a lot of great content coming out, but most importantly, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.